Manchester United thought they found their long-term man in Rúben Amorim, but what if the better choice was sitting right under their nose? Today we deep dive into why Gareth Southgate, yes, Gareth Southgate might have been the safer, smarter and more effective option to lead United out of the chaos. Hello and welcome everybody for the Offside Trap. Today we're going to dissect a little bit about what's going on at United and seeing what we can think about what are the past decisions that United had in their hands, especially in the INEOS era, and maybe where they might have made a mistake, especially in hiring the manager and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right. The Ten Hag exit and the United dilemma. So to quick recap, Erik Ten Hag was sacked soon after some poor results. Rúben Amorim, caretaker manager, comes in. INEOS was searching for stability, and Amorim was chosen for tactical upside, but it's already rocky, and it's highlighted with the Grimsby Cup exit and past other results, and not being able to string 2 wins together, and so on and so forth. Questions are arising, and a lot of the pressure is on him at the moment. So to set the stage a little bit, right? United aren't just looking for tactics. They need stability, they need unity, and they need a clear identity. When Erik Ten Hag's job was kind of under threat, there was a lot of rumors saying that the next manager was going to be Gareth Southgate or someone else, and it was Dan Ashworth's choice. It was Gareth Southgate and so on and so forth. So that's one of the reasons I thought I would make a video like this, so we can basically go a little bit more deeper into whether this was the right choice or not, because I certainly think this was the right choice. So going on to who is Southgate. Gareth Southgate, in plain and simple words, is the man manager. Some of his greatest strengths: calming a fractured dressing room, getting buy-in from like big personalities. For an example, with England, right? Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Harry Maguire, just to name a few. And one of the biggest problems at United post Fergie is a divided dressing room. It's, let's say, if you look at just how things are going on at United, like more often than not, you saw the England squad quite celebrating together. They were united, and it was just like really, really cohesive. You could see that happening. Whereas you could see United players arguing on the pitch and there is no harmony there. It's just a mishmash and everything is just all over the place, right? And it's a lot of player power happening at United as well. So I personally believe Southgate would have brought in harmony first, which would have suited what INEOS wanted to do. And I think this would have suited INEOS in the long term as well. So, point 3. The English core is an advantage that United could have actually used. United's like sort of English backbone with Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Maino, Rashford, Sancho. Gareth Southgate knew their strengths, their weaknesses, and their mentality. Why? Because he managed them for England. Like Sancho was performing for England, Rashford performing for England, Maino had some of his best games for England, and so on and so forth. Maguire always played for England, right? So, like, if you see where I'm going with this, there would be sort of immediate buy-in from the players who already trust him, i.e. the players that I mentioned above. So let's look at how Amorim has it. Does he have that trust? I don't think so. Like, Amorim has to build all those relationships as a coach, and with Manchester United being Manchester United, it comes with immense pressure. And like, how is he gonna build all of this while building a style of play, while coaching the team, ostracizing players, and so on and so forth? It's just crazy. Point number 4. So there is a bit of back and forth on this. Like, so let's look at how both of these managers would be coaching the team. Like, pragmatism versus like a tactical revolution, which is Amorim, right? Southgate has like a not a flashy sort of style of play, but a structured style of play. It would keep United in games all the time. The games would be very tight, very cagey. Maybe some individual brilliance might win you the game, and so on and so forth. But I think with that squad harmony and everything that I mentioned before, this would possibly be something that would have been really, really positive for United. Like, let's even look at United's history since Fergie. Like, it's constant tactical overhauls. Like, Moyes was pragmatic, LVG, possession based, Mourinho, low block, sort of pragmatic, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, sort of counter attack, but also a little bit pragmatic, Erik Ten Hag, fully pressing sort of football. So many different styles of football that is not going to suit the players who are going through so many different transitions. Fans definitely crave this attacking flair, but what the squad actually needs is harmony and stability before a style of play. And that is key for any sort of revolution. Amorim's pressing and transitions require a rebuild, and it's high risk. It's slow to adapt. It's very difficult to understand as well. Southgate would have been a plug and play for stability and harmony from the word go, with so many players who will automatically buy in for the style of play as well. The next point would be media pressure, and the Man United pressure. United is the biggest media circus in sort of world football at the moment. Southgate has survived and thrived under relentless media pressure in England, right? When he was England manager since, 2016. He was always calm. He was composed. He was sort of diplomatic. He absorbed the players, absorbed the pressure. So the players didn't actually have to concentrate on any of these things. Amorim already feeling the heat just after one embarrassing loss when he first came in, and now even more after the embarrassing cup loss. And another point would be the alignment with INEOS. INEOS's model, right? It's very simple to understand. You got your CEO, Omar Barada, then you had Dan Ashworth, now it's Christoph Wibel, then you got Jason Wilcox, and a manager is just a coach, which is very simple to understand. It happens in various number of football clubs, and it happens at Chelsea, which is the club that I support. And the transfers are not handled by a dictator, for an example, i.e. a manager. So Amorim wouldn't be basically dictating what needs to happen. And that was one of the reasons Chelsea didn't want to hire him as well. So Southgate you already know, right? Southgate has already worked, inside a structure within the FA, and he has just worked with players he was given. He was happy to delegate recruitment and planning while, while he was working for England and the coach for England. And Amorim came from Sporting, where he had a very, very big influence over transfers. And there might be some clashes with INEOS towards INEOS's vision and so on and so forth. You can sort of sense some sort of thing bubbling under when he's talking to the media as well. Like, it's just what it is. So what would be the downside, right, of hiring Southgate? Then, I've only spoken about a lot of the positives, but there definitely is a downside. He a lot of Southgate's critics were always saying he's too cautious, he's too conservative. You do get that from a pragmatic manager, and that is what it is. He doesn't take enough risks in big matches. Fans do definitely see him as another safe pair of hands, but instead of a visionary, which they seem to have thought that they got from Erik ten Hag and from Amorim as well. But Amorim, by contrast, could have been a very bold gamble that transformed United's long-term future if it works, or if it worked out, because we don't know. At this point in time, I feel like there is more chance of him leaving and getting sacked rather than him staying along. So in conclusion, right, to wrap up what I have been already saying, if you have been here in the listening to the video all this time, and I think I have made a really good case and a really good understanding of what could have been, right? Southgate may never have been the flashy option for anybody. However, and I have been saying this in all of my group chats and everywhere that I've spoken to anybody and everybody, but he could have been the stabilizer that United desperately needed post Erik ten Hag. Its short-term stability, harmony, and media protection and alignment with INEOS that could have laid the foundation for United's next actual true rebuild. You could have done the rebuild with Gareth Southgate, and he would have just done what he needed to do for maybe a year or two, then hired a tactical revolutionary like a Rúben Amorim to take over from him. You build a team for a manager like that, like an Amorim, while having Southgate in there, because I think the harmony, the stability, and everything that I mentioned before would have helped guide United through these hurricane sort of fucking winds and crazy, crazy, crazy waters they're in right now. Again, there might be a chance that Amorim might deliver, but do you see if there is any belief in those players' eyes? They just lost to Grimsby Town, and you're asking them to go and play against Burnley, who are a Premier League side and are doing quite all right for themselves. Where is the belief in the system? What would be, it's quite easy for people, clubs, to work out how to play against United. At the end of the day, I am no tactical. I just watch football because I love to watch football. But it's sometimes baffling to see how easy teams play against United as well. So from where I'm standing, I think it's sort of a long way back. But the bigger problem is, would he survive post the international break? However, in my mind and in the hearts of hearts, from my opinion, purely my opinion, I do think Southgate would have been a low risk, high fit choice for Manchester United. I think Dan Ashworth thought the same as well. He probably would have gotten sacked because of all his other sort of problems that he had with the INEOS regime, but I think he was right in thinking that Southgate would have been the better choice for the United job. So, thanks everyone for watching the Offside Trap, where we generally break down games and current footballing situations one trap at a time. So, thank you once again, and see you next time.